by there, but
We won't keep you long because of the weather, but I need to give you a bit of a safety brief first and some information. You'll be going down a shaft here, 11 metres deep. 5.5 metres first, 600mm diameter, but there is a Jacob's ladder on it to climb down. You'll be on a safety line, which is fall arrest. In an emergency, we can wind you up, but only in an emergency. Or you can just proceed down if you do happen to slip and fall arrest. It'll arrest you after about maybe 2 foot, so don't panic. Once you've got the drop on, it'll stop you.
it's like a seatbelt in a car.
Yeah. That's
So we're basically climbing down a ladder then, but
it's basically climbing on a ladder, but a vertical ladder.
If we fall,
Yeah.
it's going to take...
Then after 5.5 metres, you come to an offset landing.
Yeah.
You move across a little bit. Tunnel's going that way, and then you go down the same ladder, but you open up into 2-metre diameter shaft till you get to what we call pit bottom. As an old miner, mine engineer, that's what we call pit bottom. When you're down there, you'll jump on a skateboard and you'll pull you through a 600mm pipe for 4.5 metres till you're in the tunnel. When you're in the tunnel, then it's 13.5 foot wide by 18 foot high, its entire length. 2 miles long and straight as a die. If the portals were open both ends, you'd be able to see the light. They drove it from both ends, and when they met in the middle, they were 1/2 inch out of point. I mean, they were 2 foot out for a channel tunnel, for goodness sake, you know, and all the tech they had. So that was really good engineering. It rises from here to Blind Gwynby, the other end, at 1 in 340, which is a very, very gentle gradient. But in any case, any water comes back to this end. That's why you'll see it all flowing. Right. Okay, so don't be panicked by that. There's no water and there's no problems in there. Both your guides, or 3 of your guides, will be wearing monitors. They monitor for 5 gases: oxygen, hydrogen sulfide, carbon monoxide, methane, and nobody will guess what the other one is. There's something called volatile organic compounds. It's a mouthful, isn't it? Basically solvents. Now, it was certain engineers that recommended we did that. Since then, they've thrown these engineers off. But we already had a monitor. There's more VOCs on the surface than what it is down there. Unless you rub some hand gel in, then you'll get the reading on there. Okay? Yeah. The tunnel is what we call in mining terms a cross-measure drift, because it crosses measures. It crosses Pennant sandstone, which is what the tunnel is basically driven in, under that mountain there. 30,000 pounds a square inch compressive strength, very strong stuff. It passes through shale and coal. You'll encounter a lovely Welsh coal seam in there. It's a Rhondda #2 seam. Steam coal, which powered the ships in World War I, World War II, the steam engines, etc. Industry couldn't do without it, the world. You're not going to see it anymore, so you'll be able to take a little piece of that as a memento home with you. A lot of people have varnished it and put it on a little plinth. You will not see it anymore. Okay? Lovely, lovely coal seam. You'll see some nice geological features as well as you go through there. Don't forget to ask questions, because we've got ultra competent guides with you today. If anybody feels that they can't do it or they want to turn back, just let them know. We have communication points roughly every 500 metres, just under that, where they will be in contact with the surface. If at some stage they aren't being in contact after an hour, we will put emergency procedures into place where we'll contact emergency services. Sometimes we do have phone problems, like we did this morning, and one of the guides had to come out and tell them that everything was okay, we got a phone problem. It was resolved. It's not a problem. But I think he'll also ask, when each of you will have a turn to report to the surface the message that he'll probably tell you to tell. So you'll be there for posterity, recorded as reporting back on your status in the tunnel. If you look above you there are 3 trees. That's the line of the tunnel from where Kelvin, the surface controller, is standing. And nobody will be allowed to come into this part of the shaft until Kelvin gives us permission. Okay? That's the line of the tunnel. At one stage, just under those trees, you'll be near just 1,000 feet below ground. You're like that for maybe just over half of the way towards Blind Gwynby, the other valley right across there. Then you start to dip down till the cover gets to about 30 metres at the other end. The other end is a 7-foot shaft. The air is leaked through the drain up here and through this and through the shaft the other end. There is no other form or means of ventilation. However, My monitor today showed 20.9 oxygen all the way through. Because we've got high barometric pressure, we can have better oxygen. There's a little drop of water in a water mist does absorb oxygen, but it's not a problem today. You will meet some water the first 150, 200 yards coming in because of the low cover. Simple, the guides will explain what we're going to do to resolve that issue. And they'll show you an example of the Victorian engineering that's still taking some away from there. There is some water on the floors because we've got a few little swillies and swamps in there. Nothing more than, well, I wore these boots, look, and my feet are not wet. So there you go. Any questions? You shouldn't ask me because these people will tell you anyway. What's going to happen is the Tunnel Society people are going to go down to the bottom. One's going to stay on pit bottom, the other one's going to go through into the tunnel to pull you through, and I'm going to be on the first landing to see you through that little offset and down safely. And then you're on your own. The monitors beep once every 30 seconds. If it beeps every second, don't ask a question, just look where the person's gone.
I'll have a quick word about that in a minute.
Just have a look where the person's gone who's wearing it, because if he's going out that way, you go that way. That's just a joke.
Yeah, actually on the monitors, we've got 4 today, and the reason for that is we have had 1 or 2 false triggers. Particularly we're looking at the chart from the last time for carbon monoxide on one of the meters, and the company that services them have loaned us a couple of spares. If we get a false trigger, which might happen, basically what we do is we compare the gas reading on that meter with the other ones. What's happened up to now is they've all been showing 0 for that gas, in which case we say, oh, that's a false trigger. We've never actually had any gas here other than very, very minor traces.
Which is natural.
So what I want to do today, I want to do something special, which is collect from all these meters readings every 100 meters. So this is what we normally do with just one of the meters. I want to do it with all 4. If we get a false trigger, what we can do is we can use the clocks on these meters to work out exactly where in the tunnel that's occurred, and we see if it seems to be occurring at the same point. We might be a bit concerned. We don't think it will do.
What do they trigger at, the CO2 monitors? What's the point they trigger?
CO, not CO2.
CO.
50 parts per million.
50 parts per million, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So that is still very safe, isn't it?
It's the standard, yeah.
Yeah. There used to be, where I used to work, there used to be 100 parts per million, and when they went off, we used to react. Yep. What happened is they changed it to 50 parts per million, they were going off non-stop and everyone was ignoring them.
Yep.
So it was much safer when it was going off at 100.
Yes.
You know.
Yep.
I'll go down first.
Okay.
Right, Ben's got one of them. I'm going to give these
Are you
out.
better off distributing them when you're in the tunnel?
Yes, I think so.
Yep.
Right,
Okay.
yeah. I'll distribute those to whoever's got them, the monitors.
Black though, even though it's on. Got your lamp on?
Yep.
No. Okay.
Thank you very much. Good.
Okay, you're good. There's the bar. Okay.
Good.
One coming down, Steve.
Well, 3 more steps. 1, 2, 3, and you down. Turn the face with you. What's your name?
Miles.
Miles, welcome. Okay, mate. What I want you to do is this. Grab hold of these
Yep.
and straddle it like this,
Yes.
and then the sustained progression 1, 2, left, right, right, left, all the way down.
Sounds good.
Okay? And Tony will guide you once you come to the framework for that.
I'm not getting unhooked yet.
No,
Yeah, that makes sense.
no,
Okay.
okay.
Good.
All the way. Well done. Good stuff.
Okay, next run, 2 feet on one run with your left foot.
This one?
That's it. Right, there, right, now put your left foot down to the next rung. Right, come down with the right, 2 feet on one rung on the right. That's it, and down again. Back to normal. Oh, you've got some new boots.
Easy.
Good. Thank you. Okay, take the wire away. Coming up. Now, see you skateboard there?
Yes, I
You
do.
need to climb down the hole. The easiest way to do it is to face these rungs, or you can probably scrabble down.
Yeah.
And you've got to lie flat on that velvet. Ben will pull you through.
Okay. Can I put the skateboard here to lie down on it, or should I just kind
Pull
of?
it back towards you a little bit.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. So you really want your so you're lying on it. Lie, put your stomach on the skateboard.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, lie on it. Lie in the back.
That's the way. The best way to lie
Kicks up.
flat. Ben will pull you now.
Are you fine? Okay, mate?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. And you're in.
Oh my gosh, that was
Welcome to the tunnel.
wild.
That was the worst bit.
There we go.
And if you'd like to just go along those stepping stones.
Sure.
And wait on the little beach over there. Welcome to the tunnel.
Thank you so much.
How did you find that?
That was freaking phenomenal. Oh my gosh.
That's the new thing I've ever got the pothole in, and I've always got the pothole in terms of like hell.
Yeah, no. So the skateboard was Steve Chairman's idea. So originally they did crawl through on their own.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can imagine having to do that. So this wall is where the portal entrance is.
Yeah. Wow. So it was dug out, and the end of I came up on the bus, which ended in a roundabout.
Yeah.
Is that approximately where people would kind of come in through, or was it from a different road?
I am not entirely sure about that. Then maybe.
With that.
Sure. I guess because it was a train. I guess so.
I know
It's nearby, yeah.
Yeah.
the railway station was a couple of meters down the valley, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't near a tunnel anyway, not that much.
So is the plan to like have a ramp down to this level, or to cut it?
Cut it all out.
Cut it all out.
Away.
Okay. So
So you could just walk in.
sure.
So when we go so it's like halfway down, they want to put a barrier through the middle.
Yeah.
So cyclists go one side, walkers can go on the other, and there'll be like lots of artifacts speaking of the history of Wales.
Yes.
In the middle is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. This is only like this, like the drainage system. Like
And if it was open either end, the wind would be blowing through.
Yeah. So what I think Tory told me before, this debris was only meant to be pushed in 5 feet, but the boulders are up to 25 feet, and that's what blocked the drainage system. Yeah. Such a waste, isn't it?
Okay, Tony.
Should we just check our watches? I've got 2:46 or 14:46. Right, so who's got a pen? Who wants a pencil? Who are? 40, so time 14 or 2:46. Then distance is 0. So what you need to do is record what it says for oxygen, LEL, that's explosive gases, methane mainly.
Yeah, I can read it.
Hydrogen
You have
hydrogen sulfide and
for H2S you have 0. For CO you have 0. For O2 you have 20.9. For FLIR you have 0.
if you just put 9, put 20.9 on, that's exactly what that is. So you don't have to write quite so much, that's fine. Okay, good. And we have to do that every 100 metres. Can you work out? Oh, there's all marks on the wall, so I'm going to that's it.
Yeah, guys, so as said earlier, welcome to the Rhondda tunnel and all its this end's dampness, and you can hear the water cascading down as you're walking through near that later. But after that, will be quite quiet. We've just come through the wall there, and that literally is the end of the tunnel. And as I said to some of you, that concrete wall is not there, can't even there. And when they reopen the tunnel, all that will have to come out eventually, and beyond that, of course, is all that earth which that shaft went down through, and all that will come out to eventually form a sort of ramp, a wheelchair accessible sort of slope up to the surface where we got kitted up today. So yeah, single bore tunnel, so single track through here. What was the date? How did you tell us? 1890. 1890.
Started in 1885.
Yeah.
They said it would take 3 years to put 5, so you hear that happening today, there's nothing new in that.
So we're going to carry on down the tunnel here now. As we go along, you'll note the construction of the tunnel changes several times. We're in stone here. Later on, we'll get into brick and concrete. So what do you say about the
Time scale for what? Right, they estimated 3 years to construct, to build it, and it took 5. So, nothing new.
At various points along the tunnel, guys, there will be these cap pits all to do with the drainage. So though it might be mild to a bit of spout pipe, just don't fall into a hole. I fell into one of those in a tunnel in South Wales once, and I was down the tunnel on my own, and I very nearly fractured my hip and lay in the tunnel in agony for many hours before I sort of managed to get myself out of it. So yeah, don't fall down these. Just to let you know that they are nearly all on the right hand side of the tunnel. So just be aware of things on the floor. Very wet part of the tunnel, so behind the quick only top of the can, there were several bits like that going, so they put them in these holes there, which divert the water. They were done up here, and to divert the water, but this one, I actually would be 10 foot that way. That's what we got, to divert the water off the parking came underneath. If you want to drive on an open tap engine, you look for what get down there. We'll get a march on in a minute, but so where we are here, like these steel ribs, these are actually just bent rails, And what they're doing is supporting these wooden planks. Because these blocks here, you know, with all this water, there's a tendency for the mortar to get washed out. And a stone could have fallen out of the roof of the tunnel and damaged passing carriage. So they're not actually doing, they're not actually supporting any weight or anything, they're just really holding these planks up, which are just stopping those loose stones dropping out.
Are the stones required? Would the tunnel hold itself without?
Oh yeah, I mean most of it tunnel, we'll make it later, is actually just cut through bare rock. The lining came in later, because the powers that be said you can't have a passenger train going through a rock-hewn tunnel without a lining. So the tunnel would have been really quite sound without the just above it. So this is the first wet section now. This is where I mentioned, this is why I'm wearing sandals here. Or wellies. We've got two of these.
Along the side here.
Yeah, you can go along the side, but you know, if you've got the foot there, I just go through it. But keep away from the right hand side, because like here, there are buoys. All these stalactites. We're doing another reading?
Yes, we need to. So just leave a gap for 100. Right, 200, so we need to do a gap reading here.
Anyone got the time?
It is 2:55. Do you know how they bent the rails so uniformly inside the tunnel?
I've got no idea.
Because they're very nice. They're all the same. It's remarkable.
Yeah, I know, it's a bent rail as well. These Victorian guys, you know.
They must have had some kind of heating thing to heat them, but then some kind of jig to make them all the same shape. I don't know.
There's not a lot of space in here to...
Yeah, to like do that work. I don't know.
What's
how.
what? Are they all zeros? Yeah, I'm all 0 and 08 on the oxygen.
Right, okay. That, your meter's a little bit more sensitive on oxygen than the others. That's fine.
Interesting question we just had, Tony.
Yep.
How do you reckon these guys bent those rails for the spot? Did they do it outside the tunnel and bring them in?
Oh, yeah.
How would you know that? Because they're almost flush to the wall, aren't they?
Well, they would have got them to the original drawings that Yockley produced. He's got curves showing what the profile of the tunnel should be.
and they would have worked out, they would have built some sort of jig to the same profile and bent them all around that. You'll see
The change from where?
not yet.
Okay.
The next point says it's not too far, okay?
Okay.
And then after that we try. You will see lots of these American things which we're trying to collect. Which immediately help the rails, the railway system.
Oh, right.
I suppose everyone's been in railway tunnels before, but you know, all these refuges, so if you're working in the and a train was coming in, you could stand in there and not get tangled by the train.
Was there space on either side, like what, or how close was the train? How big was the train car?
It's a single track, so
Yeah.
I mean, you could have probably still get
Yeah.
quite safe, but
Yeah.
back in those days,
Okay.
here we are, 1,000-foot photo opportunity, guys.
Oh, 300, right, 300, you're going to do a gas reading
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, I mean, if, back in those days, the old railwayman.
000.9.
Railwayman would have worn sort of flappy overcoats.
Sure,
and
sure,
stuff,
sure.
You know, if you get that caught in a wagon going past,
That's not pleasant.
not good.
I'm told that in the 7 ton where you've got trains going very fast, you get a huge suction effect
Oh wow.
from trains going past, but I don't think you'd ever had it with this
So I
ton.
take it the time's 3 o'clock now.
Something like that, yeah, 2:59.
59. Yeah. So guys, where we are now, we're 1,000 feet below the surface. And the reason we're suddenly 1,000 feet, when we only walked a short distance, you saw how the mountain rose up above us before we went in the tunnel, sort of up there. So we're suddenly under 1,000 feet. And from here, the surface slowly decreases again down to Blind Thumb. Does anyone want to have a photograph of the 1,000 foot? It's a good photo opportunity. Not every day you're 1,000 feet below the surface. I would turn your torch off your head helmet,
Yeah.
because otherwise it'll hack the camera. We'll illuminate you. There we are.
There we are, good.
You want anyone else?
Anyone else? Yeah.
Oh, good, good. I'll put you on then.
Sure. Anyone else? Yeah, sure.
That is gonna be a good shot.
That'll be a new profile.
Yeah.
At least it starts the conversation, right?
It's so good.
Yeah, you're flashing now.
Your headphones flashing.
Yeah, it's good enough.
You see all these white things along the walls, they weren't white originally, they were aluminium, sort of oxidized.
Sure.
And they would have held the cables that ran between the signal boxes.
Yeah, that would be really expensive.
Well, no, these were put in, these only date.
Replacements.
These replacements, they date from about 1945.
Oh, right, okay.
I got one off the floor, took it home and cleaned it up, and actually found the manufacturer's stamp. And with a bit of Google research and AI and all the rest of it, managed to find out when they were installed and when they were made by.
Yeah.
It's a steel back, iron back with an aluminium holder on the.
So they wouldn't rust, right?
Yeah, well, I think it's to do with electricity conductivity.
Ah, right.
And we'll start to see a lot of this cabling along the tunnel, not more of it later on. And this was the metal sheathing around the copper wires that used to run. And someone's been in and had all the copper out and left all the rubbish behind. I call it
Nowadays is worth having.
I call it spaghetti.
Someone took a picture and sent saw and oh look, only that, someone there's too many snakes in there.
And if you look along here, if I hold on.
Wait, is that just copper?
Now that you can see that here, the where the railway
Be valuable.
It is, yeah, they could finance the whole project.
They were all removed
Yeah.
1970 or whatever, is it?
The tunnel closed in 68, so not, yeah, by about 1970 the track was there.
Right, they're all gone.
Yeah. They ran a train through with a crane on the back and lifted the track one by one onto the wagon as it was going along.
Right.
So,
They were quite good at it.
yeah,
And weren't they?
no, they were quite good. They did the break of the Mercury in no time at all.
There were three rail lines going to Brecon, and they weren't any for the Grand Prix at the time.
Ben, you're right to the next spot.
Oh yeah, it was on the railway signal here.
And this is where you talk about
You can talk about that, but I'll talk about that. At either end of the tunnel there's a signal box, and there are signals at either end. There's a signal just before Blind Whitby station, it used to be, and one down here just before the junction, those little railway sidings down here at Blind Cwm. And this was a distance signal to give drivers a notice of what the next signal is going to be. So if it was green, obviously it was a clear run through. But if the next signal was at danger, this one would be showing caution yellow. And rather than have a signal arm like you would have on a traditional signal, we just have the lenses here. You can see here, which would come up showing the green or the yellow aspect.
Right.
And as a secondary thing, because quite often the driver or the fireman of the train might have been lying on the cab of the floor because he was choking to the little fumes in here. There was a sound system, a gong, mechanical gong that the train would run over, before, which would give an audio warning, audible warning. You can see there the wheel, the wire run round, and then all the way down to the signal box at Blind Whitby. These white squares are the remains of the old batteries that used to power the light on this signal. Originally, of course, it would have been a guy's job to come in here and top the paraffin up or the oil. And later they used batteries. That's what these are, the white things, the remains of the batteries. And, we're going to change in the tunnel here, guys. So if you're behind us, stone, and then ahead of us, look, brick. This is and Tony will tell you about that now.
Yeah. When Colonel Rich, who was the Board of Trade Inspectors, came and inspected the line in May 1890, he wouldn't allow it to be open because this 753 yards from here onwards hadn't been lined. They just left bare rock there. Now, by that time, this is 1890, a lot of railways had been built in with tunnels, more perhaps in eastern England or eastern Britain, where the rock is a bit softer. This is very hard rock. But he wouldn't allow it to be open for passenger traffic with bare rocks there, in case bits fell off and hit trains. So the Rhondda and Swansea Bay Railway Company had to line the tunnel with bricks. They'd made all of the lining for the rest of the tunnel out of the material they had dug out when they were excavating it. But of course by that time they'd built the whole tunnel, so they had to buy those bricks in. They did the work in 6 weeks, which was quite an achievement. But there's also something else rather interesting, which is these side walls. They are of concrete, and they're one of the very earliest uses of concrete in a tunnel anywhere. If you want to touch the wall at some point, you'll find it's pretty flaky stuff. They were a bit mean with their cement in those days. It was a bit more expensive. But that is one of the reasons why this tunnel is recognised as particular historic importance by the Institute of Civil Engineers. The other one was the accuracy of the surveying. Did Steve tell you about?
Yes.
Digging from both ends, I think they were perfect on the
left-right aligned, the horizontal alignment, they were half an inch out on the vertical, which was absolutely phenomenal if you think about how they do it.
How do they do it? Theodolites or?
Yep, theodolites. They've had to build a line over the top of the tunnel, clear all the trees out, and they would have put some marks along the line in anticipation one to the next.
So we're going to mark there, so
We've got a what? Oh, 400, thank you. Yep. Time.
0.9.
307.
All zeros.
At the time this was built, then what had they been using other than physically hacking it
Right,
through?
they were using compressed air drills.
Right, okay.
They're very early ones, but that was considered particularly useful because it provided ventilation at the same time.
Right.
But they would have had a lot of manual labour. I think there was something like 7 people killed during the excavation of the tunnel. That was actually considered quite an achievement at the end.
That's good health and safety, is it?
Yes, that was considered. That standard, that was quite good.
okay, I'm going to get a wiggle on now, go mark the next one.
So, did you say there's another wax patch?
Yeah, there is another west hand, 125.
Yeah, you can definitely see where the treatment work is.
Oh, yes. Yes. Now,
It's placed perfectly to walk on the house.
So what is the surface going to be when this is done?
oh, it'll be a tarmac surface.
Ah,
Oh, yes. It's actually a very good material. It's a very good place for that. Right, we're going to do our phone call from here. So, who's going to do that?
I should do this first one.
Yeah, if you like. Right.
Seeing as I haven't done a comment.
All right, okay. So,
You hold my...
Could you hold that one,
Yeah.
please? Thank you.
so what we do is we plug into the...
It doesn't matter which way around those go, does
no,
it?
doesn't matter. Right.
It must have just been a hole in my pocket.
Right, we'll get you all to do this. Slide to ring a couple of times. One ring, another ring. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, hi there, we're just calling in. Everything okay at point number 1?
Gas readings are all, they're all zero so
And
far.
all gas readings are 0, everything okay? Okay, speak to you later. Bye. Make sure it's down properly now.
Right. It's not so important for yours to be down
No.
properly, but it's very important the other one's down.
Yes, that last time was it.
Right, so that.
Why is it very important for the other one?
Because if the phone is not seated properly at the other end, when we call on here, it doesn't go off over there. So we should be calling away, he didn't answer.
Someone's got to carry that.
Go on then. Okay, where's my notepad? I'll get loaded down here. Okay, good, very good.
Thank you.
Of course.
Steve Jones, who has the park, took the party this morning, he's an ex-miner, so when he does it, it's all going to be done according to the
right.
the standard script that you have to do to do it.
Right.
If we're all okay, I don't worry so much. They won't worry. Then, yeah, Steve would probably have mentioned about these alcoves here. We might do that here a little bit later on.
For the future plan.
No, well, why they built with these side walls with those alcoves. Pretty standard technique. To build the thing quickly and to save material. If you have a wooden former that, well, you which you lay the concrete on top of.
Right.
Then once the concrete is all set, you just take the corner out, move it to the next one. Yes.
And the sidewall's just supporting the arch.
And the tunnel, this tunnel is built in very strong sandstone. It's one of the reasons why it is in such good condition. That it is. No, it's lack of traffic. There are massive cuts of railways in Britain, and certainly in the States. Roundabout and up to the late 60s.
68 Dr. Beeching, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And they're still trying to reinstate them now.
Oh, Ben, here are, this is where you're.
It's cheaper to shut it
Is this
down.
me here?
Well, they were all
Oh, yeah.
for the coal mines. Once the coal mines are gone,
Is this, I think I must have done this is, I've done
they couldn't
seven.
justify keeping them going just for the passengers.
I must have done this
Further
before.
on, here on.
But what-
Well, have we got to do another gas reading here? 600. This one.
600 now, is it?
Yeah.
Might have missed 5.
Oh, well.
All the same.
Yeah, it's down
Time
here.
is it?
13.
Here we are.
Oh, sorry. 312.
Bit of my history over here, guys.
Yeah, we just want
Are we at 600 now then?
Yeah.
yeah.
EBT January.
No,
17th.
so guys, this is a good record on the wall here. Of, we'll just check do my reading. Oh wait, 600. Now, there's a proof on the tunnel wall here how long I've been coming down this tunnel. There's the bend. And I first came through in 1973.
Right.
Again in 74, 75, 76, 77 I came through with the Tunnel Rising Society I mentioned
All right,
to
yes.
some of you earlier. Then I came through again in 78. Then I was again back down here in 21 and 26.
So now you're starting the crazy.
So that was my frustration for previous. Well, we've all been told that no more graffiti on the wall because
Ben's a left because of your, you're almost part of the history. You're the one exception to the rule.
if I come down and get it next year, I'll go for it. 27 down the end. And that's what DTV was the guy, David Thomas Wells, and he's the guy I used to do all the tunneling with back in the day. Me and him have been through every disused railway tunnel in South Wales. A lot of them, like this one, are buried now or have been inaccessible. Some of them reopened, but yeah. So every January, January or February, we used to come up and do this tunnel.
The same path then we took.
But well, in those days it wasn't buried, so you just walk in. There used to be a breeze block wall at each end with a door in it. They used to keep putting a metal door on, but all the local herberts would have taken the door off in no time. So we actually came through one of those trips. We actually came through on a motorbike, and that was coming through here on a single-cylinder Triumph motorcycle with the full beam on and the engine. You can imagine it was quite dramatic and quite an experience. So
A bit bumpy.
a bit bumpy, and we used to come through. We're walking along like we are now, and you see the tiny speck of light in the distance, which was the light from the other end of the tunnel. And that's, on my last visit back in those days, we came through the tunnel, and we couldn't see the speck of light. And it was a.
But eventually it was in front of you,
So we
the
thought,
big
oh,
wall.
We thought, oh God, totally. They've closed the door at the other end, or they've walled it up totally. But we had no idea what we were about to face, which we'll be seeing later on. But so we had to then turn around and retrace our steps back to Treherbert. And it was just a bit of a tradition to come to the Rhondda tunnel every beginning of the year. So I've seen a lot of changes, obviously.
If you look in the far distance now, you can see the scaffold tower.
Here we are, look, a mile post.
Oh yes, you're right.
That's 2 miles from Blindcombe Station, which was on the way up to where we came.
So So that's further along down from the tunnel. right?
Yeah,
Station
further,
was, and
further,
then,
where you sort of came off at Treherbert, there's a turning from the main road up and down the valley, and you turn left. That is signposted to the country park and all the rest of it. But just near that left-hand turn was Blindcombe Station. And so that's 2 miles from there. And we'll see more of those later on.
This bit of tunnel actually, with all this spalling coming out of it, this would be really rather nice for light displays. So we've already done that. We have brought laser lights down, or simple lights down here. They do make quite a lovely display. So that's one of the things we'll probably put in here.
I thought the next wet bit was a bit sooner.
1100.
1100.
Do you want to talk about the scaffold tower, shall I?
You can, it's your baby.
Right. Let's see if I help bring it in. We've got the light on the scaffold tower. You can see that all the way through the tunnel.
Just be aware that there are these cross ribs, and they are trip hazards, so be aware of that.
Right, this scaffold tower we brought in here in pieces in 2018, where for Balfour Beatty Rail to do a detailed examination, and they could climb up there and have a good look at the roof of the tunnel. It's been up and down the tunnel to different places, but we brought it back here afterwards. It's reasonably dry. Further on, you'll see the trolley we brought it in on. We'll have a little light on here. See that from the far end of the tunnel. Now I need to get a tripod out. Well, have we been missing our gas readings?
Yeah, 700.
Yeah.
Are they all still zero?
Still zero.
800 all 0 and 08 on the option.
Right.
317.
I don't think that. I think those gas monitors aren't going to play up today. That's all right.
So which one is this? 800?